Hi everyone, Miss Bainey here. Today we're going to talk about irregular verbs in the preterite tense. So we've already started talking about what the preterite tense is, which is the simple past tense. But now we are going to learn some of the irregulars. Now the verbs I'm going to teach you today are not the only irregulars in the preterite tense. There are many, many more. But today we're just going to focus on 5 of them. Please make sure that you are watching this video and taking notes accordingly so that when you come to class we can use our time effectively and I can answer any questions that you might have. So the first verb that we're going to focus on is the verb hacer. This verb can mean both to make or to do. Now a lot of times we'll see this word come up in questions such as what did you do yesterday or what did your family do on vacation? Or we could use it with phrases like hacer la cama or hacer la tarea or hacer la maleta. It can have a whole bunch of different meanings when it's put into a phrase. So let's get to its conjugations. The yo form of the verb hacer is hice, yo hice. The to form is hiciste, tú hiciste. El usted form is hizo. Now notice that this form does have a Z in it instead of a C. The nosotros form is hicimos. The vosotros form is hicisteis. And the ellos, ellas, and ustedes form is hicieron. So take a look underneath the chart on your notes sheet. You have 2 examples. The first one we're going to do together. It says, yo blank la maleta antes del viaje. Go ahead and give it a shot filling in the verb that you think that we're going to use here. Again, this is the yo form. So if you put yo hice la maleta antes del viaje, you would be correct. There is one more example there. I would like you to go ahead and please choose the correct of the 6 forms of the verb hacer in the preterite tense to complete that sentence. You may pause, stop, or rewind this video if you need to. The next 2 verbs that we're going to learn mean 2 totally different things, but they actually have the same exact conjugations in the preterite tense. Now that might be a little bit confusing to you because I'm sure that you'll start to wonder, well, how will I know which one to use? Or if I see it, how will I know which verb is being used? Well, since the words have such different meanings, based on context clues in a sentence, we're going to know which verb that we're using. So you might say the party was fun, which is a form of the verb ser. You wouldn't say the party went fun. That wouldn't make sense. Also, you wouldn't say my family and I were to the grocery store. You would say my family and I went to the grocery store. So it won't be too tough for you to figure out which verb is being used when you see it in context. So again, they do have the exact same conjugations, so you're going to fill in this one chart, but know that it goes with both of these verbs. So the yo form is the verb fui. The to form, fuiste. El usted form is fue. Nosotros fuimos. Vosotros fuisteis. And ellos, ellas, and ustedes fueron. Now the yo form and the el usted form look kind of similar. We have fui and fue. And I noticed that a lot of people will mix those 2 words up. Here's how I remember it. The yo form, fui, has an I in it, and yo means I. So if you just remember that the one with I in it is talking about yourself, you can remember that yo goes with fui, and el usted goes with fue. Now again, underneath this chart on your note sheet, there are 2 examples. Let's do the first one together. The first one says, mi familia blank de vacaciones a España el año pasado. Take a second to try to fill in which verb you think is correct. Now I also want you to be able to know which of the 2 verbs you're using. So you may use the correct conjugation, but you're not quite sure which of the 2 verbs you're using. So make sure you know that as well and you know what the sentence means. So if you put, la fiesta fue muy divertida, you would be correct. Or mi familia fue de vacaciones a España el año pasado. The next of our verbs is going to be the verb ver. And if you remember from years past, ver means to see. Now, we have not gotten to ER and IR preterite tense verbs yet, but you will notice that this verb takes the normal ER and IR preterite tense endings. You'll figure that out come the next unit. But it just has no accent marks. Okay, so this verb means to see. The yo form is vi. The to form is viste. The el usted form is vio. The nosotros form is vimos. Vosotros is visteis. And ellos, ellas, and ustedes is vieron. Now, we do have a couple of practice for the verb ver. The first one, cuando fui a Chicago, yo vi el Museo de Arte. Now we chose vi because we are talking about the yo form. We do have another example there, to blank a tus amigos en la escuela ayer. Go ahead and please fill in the correct form of the verb that you think fits into that blank. Again, you may pause this video if you need a couple of extra seconds. Our final verb is going to be the verb dar. The verb dar means to give, and this verb, when conjugated, is going to look exactly like the verb ver, but it's just going to start with a D. So the yo form is di. The to form, diste. Él a usted dio. Nosotros dimos. Vosotros disteis. And ellos, ellas, and ustedes dieron. Again, we have a couple of examples. Our first example, mi mamá me blank un regalo para mi cumpleaños. The verb that we are going to insert is dio. Now, don't let that may confuse you. Remember, we did learn about direct and indirect object pronouns, and this may here is serving as an indirect object pronoun. So my mom gave me a gift for my birthday. Mi mamá me dio un regalo, which makes mi mamá our subject, which is how we got dio. Now, please take a second and fill in the last of your examples on this page. And also, please make sure that you write down any questions that you have. One thing that is important to note is that none of these irregular verbs have accent marks on them. So with our AR verbs in the preterite tense, it's really important to make sure that you remember your accent marks. Otherwise, your verbs mean something rather different. In this case, they don't have any accent marks, so you have to worry about one less thing. Alrighty, I will see you in class. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.